Yo, what's up, teammates? American Bi Guy here, coming to you with part two on some women are not lesbian and they are bisexual. Like I said, I'm not at all trying to disparage anybody or attack anyone's identity, but I'm just talking about bisexuality as it pertains to women as well as men. So last time I gave you guys a little bit about one of the females I roommated with. And how that situation had like some tension, sexual tension that started to build. Oh God. I do all of this unscripted. I tell it to you directly without any sort of like, like thinking about it. I just give it to you. So let's dig into it. I want to say that, and so the other woman who was in a relationship, right? Who's a lesbian. Well, actually, she told me she was bisexual. So there's two women, in case you missed the video. One told me that she was bisexual. The other one had a kid with a man who was married. She was married to a man, and now they're living their life as a lesbian. My perspective, they both were bisexual. The one that openly admitted to me that she was bisexual, really told me upon moving in. I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of thought this was like, yeah, I definitely want to see this. She told me that, well, you're cool to be our roommates and whatnot, but understand that I like to walk around topless. And I was like, huh? Okay. She's like, yeah. She's like, I like to watch my news in the morning and drink my coffee, and I like to walk around topless and or watch it topless. Now, I'm not gonna lie. She's telling that to me, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I can handle it. I feel like men that are attracted to women would not mind that, like watching, a woman just be comfortable and enough to just, I'm drinking my coffee. And there were times where I would come to the living room and she would be sitting there completely topless, drinking a fine cup of Joe, watching Fox News. All the channels. Like I'm not making this stuff up. It was very interesting. Because while I respected her, and she was older than me, she wasn't bad, but she was definitely masculine. But me being bisexual, I'm cool with it. Hey, I can roll with it. It was interesting because one, you want to be respectful, right? Because some people, she just likes to be topless. But two, she's topless, and she knows I like chest. I'm bisexual. And I felt like that she cared but didn't care, but kind of used it as a way to kind of like, yo, check me out. Maybe, I don't know, maybe call me crazy, but I mean, I don't know if she would have been topless in front of like a typical straight dude, even though we were living together. I just don't know if she would have done that, but she did it. And then she started to share a little bit more with me, right? Like about who she is. She particularly actually had been formerly with a woman who I believe they were like madly in love, but that woman left her for a man. So here the situation is again, right? A woman is with another woman, and one of those women in the relationship goes back to be with a man and goes off to marry this man. Which I can imagine that's horrifying, hurtful. And I feel like a lot of times with like what I've seen with lesbians is that there's like this, I gotta overcompensate, right? Like, you talking to my woman? I'm gonna crack this beer bottle. Like I'm ready to fight. I've seen it a lot at certain private venues, like this kind of like overcompensating. And like I said, forgive me, it's just my perspective, same thing with like, you could say like a gay guy who's like overcompensating maybe for, I don't know, like whatever. But let me take it back. I think they're just being who they are. But I have seen a lot more aggression with lesbians, you're ready to fight, versus a gay man. Now, black gay man, They were a whole different breed. Okay, black gay men I've seen, they are ready to scrap. Okay, but typically what you're gonna find, what I found in the gay community when it came to um, gay men, is that they weren't trying to fight. Aside from the black, like the black gay was who be like, yo, let's scrap. But with that being said, I feel like with lesbians, oftentimes there's this, like, you're gonna leave me for another, for a man, right? And even in the culture of being a lesbian, I've seen it where women will, if you were formerly with a man and you're with a woman now, they don't take you serious, or there's almost like, I don't know, like a trial period, or the lesbians have looked down on that. I love, like I said, may the best player win, baby. I'm an American bi guy. And I love the connection that I have with bisexuals, whether male or female, without even having to get physical. And I feel like we share a lot. And in that particular instance, she shared with me things that, like, she's like, yeah, like, even though I'm like rough around the edges and she works with all guys, like I said, this is the other female relationship, she would tell me things like, she would start when she got and I'm being very frank with you guys here. Like I said, I have crazy stories being me. And she shared that when she was talking about her like motherly or like feminine energy kind of like really kicking in sometimes. And it was like really kind of like, I don't want to reveal all this lady's information, but whatever, I don't even care no more because I'm gonna open up with you guys and you don't know who she is. But there was a child that had come from her previous relationship with the woman that she was with, who ran off with a man, right, which is really messed up. And she would say that, like, when the child was born, she would start, even though she didn't give birth to the child, she was so attached to this child that would happen. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to sleep with both of them. I'll be honest with you. I got to a point where I wanted to definitely hook up with both of them. And there came a situation where the moon was full. Okay. And in that situation, I just want to say that it's really important when you can be open with your mate about who you are. Instead of hiding it, whether you're male or female, however you choose to identify, or whatever pronoun. And a lot of people aren't. And I think that if a lot of people were open and honest with who they are and what their needs are, then there would be a lot less divorces in the world, and people would feel this level of connectedness that they aren't able to necessarily achieve if they're not being honest with who they are, with themselves and with their partner. I have this other woman that identified openly as lesbian that we met at a time in my life where I was, oh my God, I was going through so much. And we had an ongoing relationship, actually, and we became good friends, except I had to kind of pull back. And I'll talk to you guys about that later on. Openly to the public, she was a lesbian. But we had this ongoing relationship that I personally feel, I sometimes miss, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't just physical, but just being vulnerable. And it was something else. I will tell you guys about that next time on Biology 101 as we continue our discussion with lesbians or bisexual women that claim to be lesbian.